What is going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Thrive Forever Fit Show. I am your host, Jay Nixon, and today we are just going to rant a little bit. We're just going to talk. I got no notes. I got no nothing. I'm just going to talk about Opportunity 2020, which is what I'm calling our current scenario or current situation. If you're watching on YouTube, you see that I'm still crushing the beard. I wouldn't say really crushing the beard. I don't really grow a proper beard is what that's one of the things I've learned from Opportunity 2020 is Jay Nixon does not grow a proper beard. I'm a little patchy in some places and it's a little bit annoying. I'm a little pissed. I'm calling this my Stanley Cup beard. You know how like in the hockey playoffs or in the football playoffs or whatever, sometimes the offensive linemen or all the hockey guys, they just grow a beard until they either win the Stanley Cup or get removed from the playoffs. So this is my Stanley Cup beard. I'm not shaving it until this thing is over, until we're back to normal, until the cave door opens and I'm allowed to go back into the wild. So if you're noticing the extreme facial hair, it won't last forever, nor will the situation that we're in. And that's kind of the metaphorical reason that I'm doing it. So Opportunity 2020, guys, let's just talk about it for a second if we can. So many options, right? So you could be living right now. And let me ask you a question. How are you living right now? Are you living in fear or are you living in focus? And I ask that question for two reasons. I'm living in focus. I'm living in 100% solid focus, not fearful, not in chaos, not in overwhelm, not in any of those things. But I want to know, the reason I'm asking the question is I want to know, what are you guys living in? Are you choosing fear or are you choosing to be focused on the situation and the positives of the situation? There's so many things that I've learned from just this short time in isolation, if you will. And I've started this new process in my private coaching group, the Thrive Forever Fit Club. We have this thing we started. We call it Awesomeness Hour. So every day we do it on YouTube and Zoom, and we patch it into the whole private Facebook group. I bring on one of my clients and we talk about awesome stuff. We talk about all the opportunities and all the things we've learned during this odd time, because there are so many lessons that we could be extracting from this other than the nonsensical stuff that a lot of people are focused on. So for those of you that are focused on fear, I promise you, if you'll just shift that perspective a little bit and get over to focusing on the opportunities and the blessings and the good things. I mean, here's some of the things that are coming out of this Awesomeness Hour. Everybody's saying the reconnection that I've had with my spouse has been unbelievably amazing. It's validated the fact that I made a great decision, that we're partners for life, that we love each other, and everything's going amazing. We're really enjoying this time of connection. And when this is over, we're going to make a point to not lose that connection again. I think that's valuable. I think that's powerful. And I feel the same way. I mean, Lori and I have had those same conversations. I was telling them yesterday on Awesomeness Hour. I mean, we're walking to my studio every day to work out. We're having lunch together every day. We're having dinner together every night. And we don't get to do that in the normal structure of our quote unquote old lives, because we're so busy, up in the morning, jamming until late at night. And so sometimes we just don't get a lot of time to spend with each other during the week. So that's been an absolute blessing and an opportunity that we've both just loved. And that's what's coming out of all my clients as well. They're all enjoying and really appreciating that connection that they've been able to reestablish with their spouse. Powerful, right? So much more powerful if you really think about it than all of the other stuff that we're focused on the negative side of the game, right? And it's easy to go down that way. Like, I'll be honest with you. Like, I'm a science guy. I'm a numbers guy. It needs to make sense mathematically guy. If you're going to tell me something and the data doesn't support what you've told me, then I can poke holes all in it. So for me, it's really easy to go down like a scientific rabbit hole of the situation, which I've really chosen not to do. I mean, like, I found myself like analyzing it a little bit. And then I'm like, Jay, what are you doing? Like, that's just a waste of your time. Because it doesn't matter what it doesn't matter what my math shows until they say, hey, Jay, open the cave, go back to doing what it is that you want to do. I've got no choice, right? I've got no options. And so if I don't have the options to go do the things that I usually do, go to my studio, open the gym, do all those things, then I need to focus my energy and my time on what I do have control of. And that is spreading awesomeness. That is feeling awesome. That is focusing on things in my life that I can make better, improve on, capitalize on. So some of the questions I've been asking is when I bring on my clients, we talk about a lot of fun stuff too. One of the things I always ask is, who are the 3 people right now in the moment, like first thoughts out of the bag, that you'd like to sit down and have a cocktail with? I'll maybe share some of those with you at the end of this. And then, but the 2 questions that I ask that are really about this situation are, what's one thing you've learned about yourself during Opportunity 2020? So ask yourself that right now. What's one thing you've learned about yourself in Opportunity 2020 that maybe you already knew and you just forgot, or maybe it's something that you've grown into that you just weren't aware of? There's been so many great answers that have come out of that simple question. The second question is this: what's the opportunity, or what is one opportunity that you have created or taken advantage of during Opportunity 2020? What's something that you've taken advantage of, like like your time? Like, what have you used that time constructively for? I know for me, I'm getting ready to launch a brand new product. I'll even tell you the name of it. I haven't told anybody yet. So it's going to be called Thrive Forever Fit Ignite. It's going to be it's the coolest product that I've done in a long time. It's the 30-day program. It's going to be unbelievably amazing. You'll learn more about that later, but it's called Thrive Forever Fit Ignite. I would have never had the chance to do that in the busyness of my normal day. It's going to be, it's unbelievable. I don't even want to get down that rabbit hole, but it's going to be so exciting. I would not have been able to do that in the busyness of my normal day. This product is going to change thousands and thousands of lives. I'm excited about that. That's my passion. That's my purpose. Help as many people as humanly possible. This was given to me as a gift. This time was given to me as a gift to create just another layer, another opportunity, another thing that I can put out into the world that is going to help people get to the level and the place and the space that they want to be in. Think about that for a second. That's taking advantage of the opportunity in the lifetime of the opportunity. This won't last forever. When I go back to my normal busyness, my grind, I don't even like the word grind because I love what I do. But when I go back to that, I'm so focused on the day-to-day interactions of my business and my clients and doing all the things like that. This product would have taken 10 times as long as it has. We're finished with it. We're ready to launch the bad boy. I'm pumped. Anyway, I don't want to get down that rabbit hole. But so ask yourself those 2 questions. What's one thing you've learned about yourself? And what's one opportunity that you've either created or taken advantage of? Ask your spouse that. Like, have conversations like this. Hey man, what's something you've learned about yourself? What's something you've learned about me? I mean, Lori and I have had those conversations throughout this process. One of the things she said about me the other day that I thought was awesome, I mean, it made me feel really good, is she said, one of the things I appreciate about you most that this situation has really made me aware of is your stability, like how stable you are in a time of that would be really easy to be unstable, in a time of that could be really chaotic or overwhelmed. She said, your stability is what I'm super grateful for in this particular time. I thought that was really cool. And I even said this the other day, like one of the things that I've learned about myself is this, because I teach and I preach all of this mindset stuff and this, you got to think to be different. You got to use different language and you got to say this and do that and behave this way. And it's really easy to conceptualize those things, right? It's easy to show up and be a champ when everything's good. It's easy to show up and be happy and positive when everything's good. But what do you do when the shit hits the fan? It's like the old Mike Tyson statement. Everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Well, this was a global mouth punch, right? And so for me, one of the things I've learned about myself is I'm congruent with what I teach, with what I preach. I'm congruent with my mindset strategies. I'm congruent with the things I say that I teach, or the things that I teach are the things that I do. And those things that I teach and do actually work to keep your mind in a positive place, regardless of the external stimuli. So that's been one of the most valuable lessons that I've learned about myself. And it's not that I didn't know it, but sometimes you need a challenge or you need an adversity to validate what you believe to be true. So some of you guys are learning things about yourself during this process, and they may not all be positive. And that's okay too, because what that gives you is an opportunity to work on those things that you don't like about yourself or that you wish were better about yourself. Because here's the deal. How are you going to come out of this? You going to come out of this better, or are you going to come out of this bitter? Because that's really the only two options. This is going to end. You're going to come out of this. And are you going to come out of this like with a whole new perspective and vision of the world, a whole new perspective and vision of your life, what you want to do, what you want to achieve, what you want to bring, the value you want to bring to the world? Are you going to come out of it with that perspective? Or are you going to come out of it bitter? Are you going to always talk about this situation? I'm not even going to say the damn words. Are you going to talk about this situation with the same boo-hoo mentality? And I'm not making fun of you if you do. What I want to get you to do is I want to get you to take this opportunity to shift that, because right now is your chance. And all it is a decision. Think about that for a second. All it is a decision. To be better or to be bitter is a decision. People who are bitter have made the decision to be bitter, right? People who are better have made the decision to be better. It's really that simple. Now, are there things that have to come with those decisions? 100%. But it starts with the decision. So ask yourself right now, what decision am I making about this current situation? Am I going to use this as an opportunity to get better? Am I going to come out of this better? Am I going to show up better? Right? You see the language patterns there? Or am I going to show up bitter? Am I going to come out of this angry? Am I going to talk about the government? Am I going to talk about the politics? Am I going to talk about he did this or he shouldn't have done that? One of the things that drives me crazy, drives me insane, is I see people posting crazy stuff online that just doesn't make rational sense. And what that lets me know is that you're making emotional, you're acting out of emotion instead of intelligence. Because I know you're intelligent. I know you're smart. I know that you may be, because here's the deal. When you're upset and you're angry, you can't make rational decisions. You just don't. Think about the last time you got in an argument with your spouse. Nobody's rational. Everybody wants to get their point across. Everybody's voice is elevated. You're angry, you're sad, you're this, you're that. You can't make rational decisions. You always end up saying some shit you really don't mean. You always end up doing something you really wish you wouldn't have done. This is no different. If you're going on social media and you're being a keyboard warrior and you're pounding on people and telling them they're wrong and this guy's wrong and it's this person's fault and this person's fault. I would have done this and he should have done that. You don't know that to be true. You don't know it's like I said a while ago. Sometimes you need adversity. You need challenge to see how you would really show up. I'm not in the position of having to make those tough decisions. And it's really easy for me to sit here and say, I've got opinions. I've got thoughts on what I would do if I was sitting in the big chair. I sure do. But I don't know if they're true or not. It's like I said a while ago. I've always had thoughts and opinions on who I was, the beliefs that I had, how I thought I would show up, what I thought I would say, what I thought I would do, what I thought I would feel. It wasn't until this opportunity was presented to me that I was able to validate those thoughts and feelings of how I perceived myself, how I perceived I would be. And lucky for me, I was right. But I can't tell you what I would do if I was in the big chair. I can tell you what I think I would do, but sometimes what we think we would do and what we would actually do are very two different things, right? So think about it from that perspective. Come down a little bit. Bring the emotions down a little bit. Stop looking at it like you want to blame somebody, because here's the bottom line. It doesn't matter who you blame. It doesn't matter who you find to blame. It doesn't matter. That doesn't change your life or your scenario. And so what you have to start to focus on and understand is the only thing you have control over is how you respond to the situation. It goes back to being bitter versus being better. Those are the only two things you can do. It doesn't matter if they come out in 6 months and say, this, you know what? It was Larry from accounting's fault. Larry from accounting is the one that started this entire thing. what is that going to do for you? How is that going to change your life? Just so you can now say you have somebody to vocalize and blame Larry? That's not, guys, that's limited negative mindsets. That's all that is. That's not thinking with an abundance mindset. Here's the thing. It doesn't, to me, it doesn't matter anymore whose fault this is, who should have done what. If you're living in who should have done's, you're never going to get to where you need to be, right? So stop living in somebody should have done this. Either they did or they didn't do it when they had the opportunity to do it. And that's in the past. That's done. That chapter is closed. All you can do now is focus on the present and the forward. How are you going to move forward out of this opportunity? And please start to think of it as that. I'm going to drive that point home in you right now. I want you to look at this as a chance to be better, as a chance to have an awakening about some things that maybe you didn't like about what were going on in your life. Because here's what I said the other day. This hasn't created a whole lot of problems. What this has done is it's uncovered a bunch of situations that were already there. It's basically uncovered a bunch of insecurities that were already there, but they were able to be masked with busyness. They were able to be covered up with a good economy. They were able to be covered up. The curtain was able to be put over them because of the situation. All this did is it took away all the masks. It took away all the covers. It took away all the blindfolds, and it presented your life to you on a platter. And now you're having to look at it and say, do I or don't I like where I'm at? For some of you guys, this uncovered some financial situations that you need to get better with. This uncovered the fact that you don't have enough money in savings to support you and your family long-term if something like this happens again. So, but don't look at it as boo-hoo, woe is me, I didn't do the right thing. Look at it as, okay, now I see where I need to be better. Now I see the opportunity for myself and my family to always be prepared if something like this happens again. You see just the shift? What good is it going to do you to be mad at yourself? What good is it going to do you to be upset with yourself? Zero. The good that can come out of this is you to look at your financial situation and say, things need to change, and this is how they will change. So what this also did is it uncovered some holes and some problems in your relationships, maybe with your kids, maybe with your spouse, maybe with your friends and family. And so this is the opportunity now to patch those holes, to fix those insecurities, or to make some really hard decisions on, I've been doing the wrong thing for too long, and now I'm going to make some corrective behaviors on that. This has uncovered a lot of health and fitness issues because now you're not able to mask it with going to 24-hour fitness or EOS or wherever it is you go and walking on the treadmill and convincing yourself that that's the workout that you need to be doing to get yourself as healthy as you need to be. You know what I mean? One of the things they've uncovered in this is one of the major factors of this quote unquote situation has been, it's really been attacking the obese harder than the healthy and fit. Now, I'm not saying there haven't been some healthy and fit people. This isn't a talk about that. What this is a talk about is this might have uncovered some scenarios where you now understand the healthier I am, the better chance I have. Just in general, the healthier I am, the more opportunities I'm going to have to not have to go through this scare factor again. Make sense? This might have uncovered some holes in your spirituality, what you believe, who you believe, how you believe, right? So this has really been a beautiful blessing. Because when in your life have you ever been able to stop and pause and look at everything on the plate in front of you and say, I love that. That's working really, really well for me. I don't really like that. I'd really like to make some shifts there. And now you've been granted the time to make that shift. You've been granted the time to process that shift. You've been granted, think about it like that. I heard something the other day, somebody was like, I'm stuck at home. But before all this, we used to all say, man, I'm safe at home. Sure do feel safe at my house. My house is my safe place. My house is blah, you know what I mean? But then now it's the old adage of if you force someone to do something, the deprivation mentality, tell a human they can't have something and they just want it more. So now what we've done is now we're not safe at home anymore. We're stuck at home, right? So what this has done is it's just shifted your viewpoints. Come back to reality. Come back to not non-emotional reactive behavior. Be proactive with your thoughts. Be controlled with your thoughts. See things as they are and not worse than they are. Don't create stories and scenarios that glamorize and glorify your situation to make yourself feel better about what it is that you have and or haven't done during this opportunity. Really see things as they are. And if you'll really stop and pause and say, you know what, there are some opportunities here that I haven't looked at yet. I'm now moving forward going to look at these things, and I'm going to find the opportunities. I'm going to find the chances for me to get a little bit better in this situation. So when this is over, I come out of this in a great place. I come out of this being the human that I know I'm supposed to be. I come out of this being the human that I say that I want to be, but I really haven't lived up to that standard. Really a great opportunity and a great time to raise and elevate your standards. Guys, I just really wanted to rant at you a little bit. I really just wanted to have a little chit chat. Wish I could get in front of you face to face and have the same conversation. And we will, once this is over. If you're in my life, you know that these are going to be conversations that I'm having with people on a daily basis, because I'm not going to allow the people in my world to boo-hoo and talk about this as, well, this really did this to me. Or this really did. We're going to find the positives. We're going to reframe this situation in a positive scenario. And it's going to be a blessing. We're going to find great things that have come out of this. So guys, I just want you to know two things. I am here for you 24/7, 365. I love sharing. I love coaching. I love mentoring. I love giving you my perspective on things. And if that's in line with you, rock on, man. If what I have to say is not in line with you, I dig that too. Like, I like people who want to challenge my belief systems, because that just allows me to be able to grow and expand and get a little bit better myself. So if you want me to talk about anything, if you want to have a conversation about anything, if you want to come on the podcast and we can rant and rave about some stuff, let me know. Opportunities abound, right? So I'm excited about what we've got moving forward, how we are hopefully going to show up as humans. I know how I'm going to show up as a human. I know how my peeps are going to show up as humans. I want you guys on board with that so we can create a collective awesomeness that just really brings the world to a better place. So guys, thanks for listening. You know what to do. I've always got an ask. I've got two asks. If you love the podcast, please share it. Get it out there. Share it with a friend, a family member. Share it on your social media. Just tell somebody about it. If you haven't given me a review yet, just please go to Apple Podcast, iTunes, whatever they're calling it now. Give me a review on that. Tell the peeps what you think about it. It just helps people find the podcast. And if it's something that resonates with you, then that means it's going to resonate with somebody who's like-minded just like you. And that's an awesome thing, right? The more positivity and love and joy we can spread to the world, the better. Lastly, if you crave motivation, inspiration, you love fitness, you love good meals, you love movement, you love mindset, you like to laugh, you love being around beautiful, amazing people, I've got a free Facebook group called Wellness Lab Launchpad. Just go to Facebook, Wellness Lab Launchpad. Request an invite. We'll let you in ASAP. You're going to love it in there. It's a great, safe, fun space where we talk about positive, amazing stuff. And lastly, be on the lookout. I am about to launch Thrive Forever Fit Ignite. You're going to love it. That's all I'm going to say. Guys, have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful rest of your day. I love you, and I will talk to you soon. Okay. See you guys. Bye.